welcome back to my channel. How are you everyone? I know many of you now have been very busy with some businesses of yours. I just want to tell you that please don't forget to take a break if you really need to, because you know health is wealth. Anyway, in today's video, I'm just going to answer some questions from Getting to Know Me challenge. So I actually have here few questions, not really a lot, maybe a lot. I got these questions from some people to whom I'm gonna give a shout out later, so stay tuned. I'm gonna give a shout out to you later, guys. The first question is, how long have you been in France? Okay, that's a very good question. Well, I have been here just for 9 months now, so of course 9 months. Maybe you can understand that I am still having a lot of moment when I suffer from homesick. Okay, so that's the answer for the first question. And the next question is, ilang taon na po kayong teacher sa France? How long na po kayo dyan sa France na nag-teach ng English? Okay, so it means to say, how long have you been teaching English in France? Well, I'm just going to answer your questions, guys, in English if you don't mind, because I actually have some subscribers here who were my students, and they are foreigners, so they cannot understand Filipino. So I'll just be speaking English if you don't mind. So I'll just be speaking English if you don't mind, okay? I'm sure you don't mind. Thank you so much for understanding, guys. Anyway, I have been teaching English here in France. How long? Well, as I said, I've been here for just 9 months, and during my 3 months of stay here, I got a job as an English teacher in a public school here, but it's not really a regular job. It's just a kind of substitution, okay? So it's not yet regular. So it means to say I've been teaching English here for 6 months now. 6 months, okay? 6 months, not really long, all right? And the other question is very interesting. The other question is, my boyfriend or my asawa ka ba? Well, this is a very funny question. Well, if you have seen some of my videos, and you can see I've got 2 kids there in the video, and maybe you can see the shadow of my husband in some of my videos because my husband doesn't want to be in the camera. So you might be wondering, oh, why isn't her husband in the video? It's like that. Anyway, yes, I have a husband, but I don't have a boyfriend, okay? But of course, you have a husband. Do you want to have a boyfriend? Of course not. Okay, so the other question is, how long have you been married? Well, honestly, I have been married for just 1 year and a few months now. You might be wondering, oh, you just less than 2 years, but you got 2 kids. Yes, I've got 2 kids. One is 10 years old and the other is almost 2 years old now. But of course, because we lived together before we got married. So we lived together for some years before we decided to get married. That's why. Okay, the next one is, how many kids do you have? Yes, I think I have answered it. I've got 2 kids, 2 daughters, okay? I've got 2 daughters. And the other question is, have you been to any other countries? Well, yes. Aside from France, where I am now, I've been to Vietnam. That was a kind of business trip. I was sent by my previous. I was sent by the school where I previously worked in Philippines. They sent me to Vietnam to give some demo classes. To give some demo classes to Vietnamese on how to learn English, or how they can learn English. All right. So I've been to Vietnam once, and I stayed there for like a week or almost a week. That's it. And you can see in one of my videos, guys, because I have posted a video of my experience in Vietnam giving presentation and sample classes. Okay, thank you for that question. Next one is sis, how to be you? This is a very funny question. I don't think she was serious asking this question, but anyway, I'm gonna answer. This is a difficult question, really. How to be you? Well, to be me, you just need to be yourself. For me, I am just being myself. I mean, you don't need to pretend to be someone. You don't need to act like someone. As long as you are happy of who you are and what you are, that's enough. Be confident of who you are and just, be proud of who you are. Oh, what is that? It's a very difficult question. Anyways, that's it. We don't need to pretend to be someone else because everyone is different. We have some differences. I might have something, but I don't have another thing. You might have this thing, but I don't have that thing. So really, we are different. So we cannot say, oh, I want to be that person, or I want to be, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so we are different. All right, next question is, ano pinakasaya at pinakamasakit na naranasan mo sa buhay mo at ano yun? Oh, very difficult question. So in English, it means to say, what was the happiest and the most painful experience that you have had in your life? Okay? Well, it's a very difficult question. Well, I'm gonna answer that question. The happiest, okay, let's talk about the happiest moment of my life. The happiest moment of my life is when I got married. I guess that's the happiest moment of most women. When they get married, they become so happy. All right? And let's talk about the most painful experience that I have had. The most painful experience that I have had was because I grew up with my grandparents. So that was special with my grandfather. So when I was a child, I used to be with him. I used to spend time a lot with him. And of course, he died when I was like 8 years old. And I guess I can consider it as the most painful experience that I had. Okay? So when my grandfather died, the grandfather who I used to be with, because I grew up with him since my mom was in another place for her job. So that's it. And the other question is, ilang taon ka na and paano kayo nag-meet ni hubby? Okay, wow, that's a very good question. Can you guess how old I am? I really have to ask you to guess. Well, anyway, I am 34 years old and I'll be 35 this August 17th. So this month is my birth month, okay? So I am 34 years old now. I'll be 35 this month, all right? And the question is, how did you meet your husband? Well, I met my husband when I was in Philippines. Of course, he is French. He used to study English in Philippines, and I met him through a friend. Okay, through a friend. He was introduced by my friend, who is also an English teacher. So that's it. We just met at a kind of party. Yes. Yeah. And the next one is, ilang language ang alam mo? That means to say, how many languages do you know? How many languages do you know? Well, I know many languages, but I can't speak them well. Many languages. Yes, it's many because it's more than one, okay? So, of course, I can speak Filipino, Tagalog. We have a Filipino language that is Tagalog. That is the the language of our capital. So I can speak Tagalog, Bisaya. For Tagalog, I can speak Tagalog, but not very well. I can, if I really want to communicate, I can speak Tagalog. I can speak Bisaya. And of course, I can speak English well because I'm an English teacher. You cannot teach if you cannot speak English, right? Do you agree? And I know French language, but I've been staying here for just a short time now. So I can just speak a little. It's the kind, I consider it a survival French language. So I can speak French a little, not really fluently, okay? So most of the time, I still depend on my husband here when it comes to some papers written in French because, it's very hard, really. Maybe you can understand if you have experienced learning a foreign language at this age, we are not, I'm not you. I'm not young anymore, and if you start learning something at this age, it's quite difficult. Do you agree? I hope you do. Okay, and the next question is, this is a very interesting question. The next question is, have you always wanted to be a teacher? If no, what did you want to be growing up? Oh, thank you so much for this very beautiful question. Well, have you always wanted to be a teacher? Well, when I was young, before I chose to study my major, which is English, okay? I majored secondary education in English, okay? English secondary education. My major is English. So before that, when I was young, I really wanted to be a nurse. But, in Philippines, for us Filipinos, we consider, studying nursing is quite expensive. So during my time, it was really, expensive to study nursing. It was not easy for my mom to send me to a nursing school. So we just decided for me to study education. And well, I didn't have any regret because I started to love teaching, especially English. I love teaching, so there's no regret at all why I did not study nursing. So that's why I'm a teacher now, because I chose to study education. Education is a noble job, so I am happy being a teacher. But sometimes, teaching sometimes is very stressful, but it's part of it. Anyway, the happiest thing of being a teacher is you can share the knowledge that you have, and you can, help people to improve or to learn some things. Okay? Next one. Next question is, how do you apply to be a teacher in France? So actually the question is, how did you apply to be a teacher in France? Well, I applied to be an English teacher here in France. I applied online. So there's a kind of website for, it's like, they call it rectora here, rectora. I guess it means to say a kind of Department of Education. They have a kind of thing there. There's a website. So I applied online. And then maybe after a few days, they called me on the phone, and I had a phone interview. The phone interview was in French. Oh my God. So I had, guess what? Nosebleed. I had nosebleed, guys, but luckily my husband was there. He helped me with the interview. So he spoke French, and I spoke English when there was a time that I needed to speak English. Okay, so the interview was on the phone. And luckily, I got hired during that interview. So they hired me, and maybe after a few weeks, they asked me to start teaching. All right, so that was just as actual what they asked me to start teaching after a few weeks. Okay, that's it. Next question, okay. How to keep your hubby happy? Oh my God, this is a very smart and difficult question. How do you keep your hubby Happy. Well, I keep my hubby happy when I am happy. What kind of answer is that? Because actually, he is happy to see me happy. When I smile, he is happy. Because most of the time, I easily get angry, and with this face, you might think I always smile in the camera. I don't know. It's just that in the camera, I always smile, but in reality, I also smile. But most of the time, people think I am very strict. Well, how to keep my hubby happy? I'm not very good at cooking, so I guess I can make my hubby happy when I cook something that tastes good. And that is luck for me because, it's very challenging to cook for me. I can't cook well. So most of the time, I always want my husband to cook because he cooks better than me. But now I don't have choice because I have to cook because he is busy working, and I am on vacation now. I've got no work, so I have to cook, guys, and I have to do my best to have good cooking that tastes very good for my husband, and in that way I can make him happy, 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 shalala. It's nice to be happy. Oh, I really have to sing. Alright, so this is the last question, but not the least. I decided to have this question last because for me this is a very important question and a very good question. The question is, if you have to pick one place to live forever between France and Philippines, which one would you pick and why? Oh, which one do you think I would pick? Can you guess? Can you guess? Oh, guessing game. Guessing game show. Anyway, if I had to pick one between France and Philippines to live forever, I would pick, of course. What do you think? Both have F sound. France or Philippines? France or Philippines? Well, of course, I would pick Philippines. And she said, why? Oh my god, I have to explain. Can I escape from this question? Why? Well, of course, I would pick Philippines to live forever because, it's my home country. I was born there, and, I've just been here for a few months now, and I can say that it's really hard to be. Oh my god, I want to cry. No. It's hard to be away from your country. I mean, away from your family, away from the life that you are used to. Hello, nag-drama. Oh my god. No dramatic. Oh my god. So of course, because no, I just miss my country. I just miss my country, guys. Homesick it is. Philippines, because I consider Philippines is more comfortable to live there because I don't have to speak French, which is very difficult for me. Yes, it's difficult for me, and I think the life in Philippines is easier. I mean, I don't mean about financially. Of course, we can accept that it's a fact that economically, Philippines is not that developed. So, but even if we have that situation, Filipinos are they just enjoy life. We Filipinos enjoy life. I can compare the people in Philippines and the people here because people here they always work. What can I say? They rarely have time for themselves. They spend most of their time working. So it's like that. But in our country, I mean in Philippines, if you agree with me, we work and at the same time we enjoy. You know? Happy. Just happy. Shalala. It's so nice to be happy in Philippines. Yes, it's it's really easy. I mean, the life is easier and maybe happier in Philippines because of course it's my own country. I don't know if it's gonna change later, but for now, I can say that I would pick Philippines to live forever because people are very friendly. People are very, how can I say, people are very kind, and really, I think Philippines is the best place to live. Even if we have a simple life in Philippines, but it's a happy life. Of course, I'm also happy here because I'm with my own family. But you know, it's different in our own country. We can eat the food that we like and we can do the things we want. But here, you know, they have different food. So there are many differences. Now I'm gonna give a shout out to these people who gave me those questions which I just answered a few minutes ago. So shout out to you, Cheska Vien. Shout out to you. Thank you so much for that wonderful questions of yours. And shout out to Playlist in USA. Thank you so much for giving that question. And shout out, of course, to my very special friend, Roger Vlogs. Shout out to you. And of course, to my sexy friend, sexy mommy, 101 Food Travel. Shout out to you. And shout out also to Common Sense with Elizabeth. Shout out to Santi. And shout out to Nature Simplistic Beauty Photography. And also, shout out to Mary Grace. Shout out to Almor Nalang. Shout out to Kathy's Vlogs. Shout out to Eats Del. Shout out to Kabenti Renz as well. Shout out to Mary Pino. Shout out to Ben Lanote. And of course, shout out to you, my sis, life in United Kingdom. Thank you so much, everyone, for those questions that you gave me for this Getting to Know Me challenge. I hope I have answered your questions and I hope you are satisfied with my questions. I hope you are satisfied with my answers. Thank you so much, guys. Okay? And for those who have been watching my videos and for those who have been supporting my channel, thank you so much, everyone. I really thank you for doing so. And for those who are new to my channel, please don't forget to click that subscribe button below. And of course, just click the bell button for me, please, so that you will get notified of my next videos. Alright? Bye-bye!
I just wanna be who